Good evening and welcome to part 2 of my midterm preview or midterm practice test. Thanks for checking it out. So I know I was in the process of doing this one when the last video cut off for time, but I'm going to start over just because I wasn't sure exactly where I was at. So in the numerator, we have a difference of squares, x plus 3 and x minus 3. And in the denominator, we have a quadratic trinomial, two factors of 15 that will add up to 8 will easily be 5 and 3. So the x plus 3's cancel out, and we're left with x minus 3 over x plus 5, which is the first answer, the simplified version. Remember, x is not allowed to equal negative 5. There will be a vertical asymptote at negative 5. You're welcome to put in the original, and you can see the vertical asymptote at negative 5. But also remember, when this was still going to cause a problem if it was ever going to be 0, even though it cancels out. So if x would have been equal to negative 3, that one would be a whole. And you can also see that at negative 3 on your graph if you type that in. Probably wouldn't know to look for it because it's difficult to find. You definitely got to be able to factor and cancel and recognize when you have an asymptote, when you have a whole. 25, we got a quadratic trinomial. What's different here is, again, we have a number in the front. We haven't done these until today, but 2n squared would be 2n times n. The question is 15 going to be 1 times 15 or 5 times 3? And usually it's one of the centralized numbers. So I'm going to say 5 and 3 to start off. Now, they still have to add up to 13, but the 2 is involved now. So what I have to do is multiply the inside 2, which is 5n, and the outside 2, which is 6n. And that does not add up to 13n. But what I can do is backtrack just a second and move the 3 here and the 5 here. I had them backwards before. See, it matters now because one of them's with 2n and one of them's just with n. When I check now, that would be 3n and that would be 10n, and they do add up to 13n. So we need a positive both of those. Like we needed positive 10n, so I had to be positive 5 and positive 2, and we needed 3n, so they had to be both positive. Again, still multiplies to make 15. Inside and outside add up to make 13. Feel very good about our factoring skills, and results look really good, even though this is new 36 correct. Only 5 incorrect at this point. Still a lot of unattempted, though. What's true about rectangles? So make yourself a little rectangle like we did with the geoboards and the rubber bands. The diagonals are perpendicular, so I add in the diagonals. And note, these are not right angles in here, so no, they are not perpendicular. Are all 4 sides congruent? No, the top is congruent to the bottom, the right side is congruent to the left side, but not all 4 are congruent. Not to each other, I should say. Only one pair of parallel sides. This is false because the rectangle is still parallelogram. The top is parallel to the bottom. The left is parallel to the right. But finally, the diagonals are indeed bisected. And you can see this because, well, I don't have the most perfect rectangle, but if I probably should have been about right through where this blue line is. And this piece is equal to this piece. And this piece is equal to this piece as well. Now, they don't all 4 have to be the same to be bisected. They just have to be cut in half. But in a rectangle, being it stands straight up, it makes all 4 of these the same. Next up, also new today, would like the results to be a little bit better here. So remember, we got a 10 by 18 piece of paper, and we got to cut the edges and try to form this into a box to see what's the maximum amount of volume we can make. So we don't know how much we want to cut so that we can fold it up. So we're just going to call these X's. And we need to make the same cuts all the way around. So anyways, how long is the top right now? Well, it'd be 18 minus the 2 X's. The sides would be 10 minus the 2 X's. Again, where am I getting the X's at? Like you have an X here and an X here. that are being cut out. Now finally, when you flip it up, those flaps right there, as I flip that up, that would be a height of x. Remember, in a prism, it's just length times width times height, or base times height, if you want to go with that one. So that's why this one looks real good. Looks like popular answers here, having the 2x in the wrong place, or failing to put the 2x period. Of course, my dog wants to play right now. Only 2 more questions soon. So similar again, we've got a 12 by 16 sheet. And if this is 16, again, we're cutting out 2x's. So I'm looking for a 16 minus 2x, like this, or the first one. The other side is 12. I'm looking for a 12 minus a 2x. And the height, as I flip it up, it's just going to be like right here, you could say, is the height. Once you flip up the edges like I did in class A, so you just want a height of x, not 2x. So from what I can tell, these are newer questions to me, but those generally are appearing to be kept in a simple fashion, where you can actually type in that answer into Desmos, and you can see like what the top of the graph is, and that top represents like what the best x would be, the maximum that you could what the x would be for you to maximize the volume. One more factor in, so we've got 5x squared plus 17x plus 6. I know the 5x squared has to be 5x times x. Can't be any other combination. 6 could be 6 times 1 or 2 times 3. Again, it's generally the centralized numbers, the ones that are closer to each other. So maybe I'll get it right the first time, but again, it's guess and check. 5x and 3x is 15x. Now I can get 17. I do got 17 by adding those together. So it is plus and plus for that. While I have you, I'm going to go back to Desmos since it's really easy right quick and type in one of those volume maximization problems. Now this isn't something they are asking you about on the midterm, but it may be something that you get asked about at some point, and just because it seemed like it's going pretty well. If we had sides that were 12 and 16, I don't remember if this was necessarily one of our problems, but if these were our sides, I'm going to get a maximum way up here somewhere. Hopefully I don't have to go too much longer. There it is. I would make the sides be 2.2, those x's, those cuts would be 2.2. And if I did that, the volume would maximize at 194. And this was in inches, I believe, so 194 cubic inches. Well, appreciate y'all watching. Good luck tomorrow. Let me know if you need anything.